Hi, I'm Cari.
I'm Justin.
This is week 2 of Charleston, level 3, Wednesday Night Hop, February 2017. Those are all the things. Great. So this week we went over some really awesome things in tandem, including a great tandem 12 count entry. We started with our regular tandem and making sure it felt awesome. Ha, 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 hoop, ha, ha. For follows, we talked about the stretch and about making sure that this was down the line.
Specifically, what we wanted to make sure is that when you turn out of this, that you turn in a straight line.
Yes, right. So like if I am a follow, I'm facing right here, right now. Rock, kick, kick, rock, kick. I'm facing in the same direction still, which is important for later on in this turn.
So then for leaders, we talked about how we're allowing our partner to rock step, but we're not making them rock step. And the way that that really happens is like on beat 3, I send my partner further in that direction. So it's not a regular tuck turn like this. That's not the move. This move has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's that 3 that makes the whole move happen.
Yeah, Justin moves all the way down on his body, so that he moves it from a body lead.
Ha, 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 ha,
ha. We also talked about this stretch coming, this rock step that the follow does, coming from the stretch that Justin is moving away and not from a push, which is also standard for most rock steps. And then anything else for the leads on this so far?
The other important thing, leaders, was that when you catch, to make sure you concentrate on bringing the right hand back and your left foot back at the same time, and don't worry so much about anything else. Don't worry about catching hands or about your other feet or anything. As long as you do that, you're good.
Great. So then we did the 12 count move.
So the 12 count move looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. We'll show that from a different angle. Maybe from this angle.
Maybe.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2.
Do you want to talk about leads first?
Sure. So leaders, the most important thing to make this work is maintaining the right amount of space between your partner at the right time. So when we get out to here, I'm pretty far away from my partner. So they have to get closer to me before I can turn, and I have to ask Cari to move at basically the same linear rate through the whole thing. So I start her off pretty fast, and I want her to keep moving at that rate, which means I have to move back. If I don't move back, then I'm asking Cari to move forward and then stop moving forward and do a turn in place.
Yes.
And that's hard, and this move is already hard, so why are we making it harder than it needs to be?
Accurate. One of the things that Justin does really well, I think, that makes this possible is that his step away moves away, right? So he doesn't like stay in place so that it's easy on me, because that actually makes it harder on me, right? So if you notice his kick away, he moves in that direction. Sorry.
So you're talking about this kick
Yes.
step there, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really important moment, because if the leads are too close, I'm gonna feel like I have nowhere to go.
So leaders, you should think that like this first feels like a pull to get your partner moving linearly, and then once your partner gets a little bit closer to you, we start turning, and then at some point your partner should still be moving at you. You will need to get out of the way. And we talked about footwork and said basically to do whatever needs to be done so that you don't get stepped on.
Yeah. For follows, we talked about like 2 really important points, essentially. The first is that when the lead's hand is over my head for the second turn, right, because we go rock, kick, here, rock, and here. When we're here, my hand is pushing up into the lead's hand so that I can create connection. If I like limp arm, right, then I'm not actually going to get through this. And if I like don't push, then I won't notice that he's speeding up, right? And he speeds up. Let's do it. 1, 2, ha, hoop, here. Right, so that's where like the speed up happens. I can only really feel it. And the lead essentially like pulls in faster like that as it starts to come down. There's like this like turn faster, like acceleration of my body. For follows, we also talked about how our turns are really, the second part of it was we talked about how our turns need to be down a line. If our turns veer in any like direction, either because we're overturning or underturning, then it actually becomes harder. So like down the line looks like hoop, ha, hoop, ha, hoop. And then veering would look like hoop, ha, 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 right? And it's really hard for leads to like lead it down a line if you're not going down a line. Cool. Want to show it one more time?
Sure. Maybe from the single.
Hoop, ha, 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 rock step, kick step. And that turn for follows is just a step, step. So it's just fast.
So then the last thing that we did was a cool tandem variation, which looked like
Hoop,
this. Ha, hoop,
hoop,
ha. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for
Ha,
leaders, we said we really want you to sink in on 1, 2, and it's like 2 beats of pushing out on your partner's left shoulder blade. We don't push on your partner's back or on their spine because that is uncomfortable. And for this move, I wouldn't recommend pushing on the right shoulder blade. I just have to show our anatomy. Here's okay. This is bad in general. This doesn't work well for the move because this encourages your partner to turn to the right, which is not the direction they're turning in this move.
Yep.
So if you watch it again, the main thing for leaders is that this is like a long setup and a long push out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's almost 4 beats, 2 in and 2 out.
Yep. For leaders, we also talked about keeping your hands around like the center of gravity, like a little bit lower. If your arms are too high,
Sorry.
it's going to be hard to lead this. And then for follows, we gave like a little variation. So this is normal, hoop, hop, da ba da, hoop, ha, hoop, ba da. And then we did our variation, ha, hoop, ha, ha, ha. Right? Where the variation is essentially that I'm leading my body out. So it, like here, I kick and I stretch my right arm up to create this like pretty little line and like sink into it a little bit, right? So one more time. Hoop, ha, 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 hoop, ha, ha, ha. Can we show it from a different angle?
Yeah.
Awesome. Like
angle.
this angle.
Sure.
Just hoop, ha, ha, ba da, hoop, ha, 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 ha. Awesome. I think that was everything.
Bring your follower friends to next class. We won't teach anything that will make them feel lost.
True story. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of variations.
We'll see you all next week. Thank you.
See ya. Bye.